All right, welcome back. So I've got a bunch of series going. I'm not even sure. I just kind of sometimes I urge you know little bits add up. So I'm just sitting here watching whatever pikes my curiosity on YouTube, mindlessly passively consuming stuff and what I did? I hit the record button because it's just not really going to get me anywhere. Like it's important to be informed about things. It's important to make you know the right decisions to the best of your means. But a lot of times that means hitting the stop button, right? Because a lot of times you're just being exposed to um, mis and disinformation that's meant to get you at best to buy something, at worst to make harmful decisions for whatever reason. So um, anyways, I feel like I have the right to relax and put my feet up from time to time, but uh, anyone who's been following this channel knows that I've become an AI realist. I'm AI pilled. So really, now is before AI is kind of like really blown up. Now's the best time to get positioned to be like a major player in that space. So I've come to the conclusion that based on my own set of skills, the best thing I can do is become a niche automation network engineer, which I currently already am, but one that kind of triggers all of the buzzwords in the AI data center space, because you'll hear Mark Zuckerberg, you'll hear a lot of the tech oligarchs talk about a 1 gigawatt, a 10 gigawatt data center, yeah, in order for the United States to be a leader, um, there's a lot of things that are going to have to change overnight. From the when I read, I did a series on situational awareness by Leopold Aschenbrenner, and we might see this happen soon. We might see all of our environmental energy policies just get tossed out the window in favor of rapid AI development, so that we're the first ones to AGI, and we beat out other countries in the interest of national security, because once you get to AGI, artificial superintelligence is just right around the corner, because now you can have automated AI PhD researchers. So it'll just be a matter of months. So that's something that could happen. That's very likely to happen, regardless of future outcomes. It's already something that I've heard talked about, kind of being planned for. And I won't speak too much about that, because I just want to stay focused on the bolts on this channel. Yeah, I just can't take the heat. I can't become a political commentator online or anything like that, because I just don't think, I think the stress would eat me up. So let's keep it focused on technology here. Let's hone in on one of these. And it kills me so much to let this go, because I have such a strong foundation of knowledge in this area, and then the specialist exam is it's an automation exam. It's more broad, so it's like, oh man, I have so much difficulty letting this go. I really feel like, but at the same time, I wasn't making progress. The only thing I'm really making steady progress on right now, I mean, I was on part 9. Part 9's not bad. So, man, it's hard. I feel like I want to do the Nvidia. So this is going to be an Nvidia certification video. Yeah, I've decided to abandon the CCNP data center and go for the cert again. I don't know if it's a good choice. I definitely have had one contract where I probably wouldn't have gotten it if I never got my CCNP. So, the CCNP is still widely known, widely regarded. My kind of niche in my career has been automation. The CCNP, you'll have to pass in 2 exams: the core exam, which proves you have a lot of general knowledge in a general space. And that would be data center is the one space I would choose. You can choose service provider. You can choose enterprise. And the choice is pretty inconsequential, to be honest. Like, the core exams are broad ranging enough that, I trained in, I chose enterprise. I got my CCNP in enterprise, and I worked for a service provider. Most of my professional experience has been for service providers. Like, even though I was trained in Cisco, most of my hands on the gear, was on a variety of equipment. Cisco, Juniper, Extreme, HP's, Mellanox. It's like it doesn't matter so much, in my opinion, which certs you have. Is Yeah. So let's just do kind of a brief video on this, and really hone in and focus on this for an hour for this one video here. I think that makes a lot of sense, and hopefully the audio is good. I'm kind of in a weird position. I'm speaking into a weird angle into the mic, so I can change that. I'm gonna change that. All right, and I do have the ability to put a monitor on, so I can hear my own voice. That's how the pros do it. But if I do that, then I can't use the Bluetooth. All right, I think this is better. I'm speaking into the mic in a better angle now. So let's all right, let's do a brief let's take a pause now and come right back. All right, I'm back. So yeah, let's really hone in on the Nvidia cert, because I want to get a taste. Like, does this make sense? I really want to, like, and the other thing is, like, my CCNP doesn't expire for a year. This is a 1-hour exam costing $135 with only 50 questions. Like, just knock it out in a week, right? Like, I feel like part of my problems I'm having today, my trials and tribulations, is I'm still kind of up against a bit of a crisis in focus, which I should probably talk to a therapist about, not just air out my dirty laundry on YouTube. But or at the very least ChatGPT. But yeah, I feel like the AWS cloud practitioner, I should be sophisticated enough in my career now where I can just sit down, and at most it takes me a month to just read up, be like, oh, okay, I understand it now, do some Anki cards, sit down for the test and pass. Like, I should be that sophisticated of a learner at this point, but we've seen that I'm not with the LPIC. So anyway, so we've got preparation materials. Hopefully, hopefully I can make that happen with this cert. That would be so cool. So we've got preparation materials. We recommend the following steps to prepare for this exam. The first step is to enroll in self-paced training on Coursera. Coursera is a paid platform to get access to all the content. But for specific content, I think it depends on the content itself. It's given away for free. So in this case, it's a free course. Awesome. I love it. And then the other thing is a lot of what you pay for is not necessarily whether or not you get the course content. It's whether or not you get the certification for the course, which I don't really care about. But you notice that this is not filled in blue or whatever. I didn't complete the course completion quiz, so let's do that together. It's we're dedicated to protecting the integrity of your work on Coursera. As part of this effort, we created an honor code that we ask everyone should follow. So avoid sharing answers with others. That sucks. Oh man, that really sucks. I hate that. Oh man, I don't like that. So you know what? I'll take that later on my own. I wish I could go and put this out there, but I feel like, you know, I'm the kind of guy that I don't like to take a lot of risks in this regard. It says it very clearly here, and I urge anyone, you know, who's a professional, take a look at things like the honor code. Like, you know, when you're onboarding for a new job, know what the expectations are. Like, for God's sakes, like you know, at least like skim it, like have some sense, at least like save it, right, and have some sense of where you can go back and look at like what your expectations actually are. Like that's important. So we can see very clearly, number 6, unauthorized sharing of resources, making any information about or solutions to homework, quizzes, exams, projects, or other assessments available to anyone else, except to the extent an assessment explicitly permits sharing solutions. So yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. It says it right there. It doesn't explicitly permit it anywhere. So yeah, we don't see any answers to this quiz, and I'm going to keep it that way, unfortunately. As much as I'd love to, but... okay, so anyway, that's Coursera. Coursera, I don't know, I haven't really used it that much in the past. I really like, I have used GNS3 Academy, and I have paid for some online courses that I've found some value in. So, you know, I'm not against Coursera. It just sucks that I can't make it a part of this content. But anyway, the next thing that's important to do in order to get the cert is to review these additional materials. The first one is, so the exam is about AI, it's about GPUs, it's about infrastructure, it's about networking. Ding, 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 ding. Word of the day. Pee Wee Herman. Everyone scream, ah! You know, this is the secret word, right? This is making me feeling better about moving on from the CCMP. All right, so now it should take about 1 minute for this one. This is the CUDA zone. So I should have some sense of what CUDA is, and just my own, and let's go to the AI for this. All right, so I'm trying to pass an Nvidia certification. I'm hoping I can pass it very soon, like within a few weeks. I'm trying to pass the Nvidia Certified Associate exam, the NCA-AIDC, AI in the Data Center, which is kind of weird because this is like a strange one. It's not the infrastructure one, so I don't know like if this is even a legit one. But anyways, it's the candidate audience is a network engineer, which I very much identify as, and a you know, all sorts of other things, a developer, DevOps engineer, yeah. So I think this is a good choice for me. System architect, that'd be a good one. Solution architect. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. So, you know, what I have to do is read all of the materials. So let's do this. Let's do a check-in, and then I'll paste you in the like everything I have to do, and you can review that quick. So let's check in now, and then next will come the training criteria.
That sounds like a great plan. Let's start with a quick check-in. Please let me know your current status, including how much time you have allocated for preparation each day or week. Any specific areas or topics you feel confident about. Any areas or topics where you feel you need more help or are less confident. Any particular resources or study materials you are already using. Once you provide this information, you can paste the training criteria, and I'll review them to help you structure your study plan effectively.
Yeah, so here's the thing is like I feel like I'm coming upon the 1 decade mark in this new career. Like before that, I tried to be a classical viola player for some reason, and it well, believe it or not, it didn't work out. I'm not uh, a prodigy player that when I was 10 years old was performing internationally all over the world. So wouldn't you know it, it didn't work out. So yeah, I've been in this career for 10 years, and I feel like one of the skill sets that I should have by now, but that's kind of missing, is like any low-hanging fruit exam, like the AWS Cloud Practitioner, and I think this Nvidia certification qualifies as that as well, right? So like any like associate level exam, even if it's like all new stuff I've never seen before, I should be able to be good enough at studying and learning new things that, because that's like basically the most critical skill you can have in technology, because like new technology comes out all the time. So I should have enough skills to be able to spend like at most a month, but ideally like 2 weeks. And like if I were really good, even like 1 week where I'm just like hitting the grindstone and for like an hour a day, really diving into something. And then after like 20 hours, I can just go and take the test. So like, 2 weeks would be like 14 hours spent. So like, yeah, 2 weeks, I can have on the weekends like a few like mega sessions where instead of 1 hour, I do 3 hours. So, that puts me up in the like 18-hour range. It's like, but even in that amount of time, it's like I feel like I should have the skill where I can pass like new certifications really easily without resorting to things like dumping and doing like underground techniques to pass. And I feel like I don't really have that yet. So yeah, that's just a thought I've been thinking about a lot. So let's start there, and then I know that you asked me 4 questions. So next I will answer each of the 4 questions. I'll answer them one at a time. We'll start with question 1, which was, how much time have you allocated for preparation each day or week?
Great, let's dive into your preparation plan. From what you've shared, it's clear that you're aiming to efficiently and effectively master the material for the Nvidia Certified Associate Data Center AI certification in a short amount of time.
I feel like
This
I
is a
should
very
be able
achievable
to
goal,
do that.
especially given your extensive experience in technology and your strategic
Right.
approach to learning.
And it's not the same with like the
Question 1.
CCNP.
Time allocation. How much time have you allocated for preparation each day or week? It sounds like you plan to dedicate around an hour each day to studying, with the possibility of extending your sessions on weekends to cover more ground. Here's a potential schedule based on your 2-week time frame. Weekdays, 1 hour per day, Monday to Friday, equals 5 hours per week. Weekends, 3-hour sessions on both Saturday and Sunday equals 6 hours per weekend. This gives you a total of 11 hours per week. Over 2 weeks, this will provide you with approximately 22 hours of study time. Questions 2 to 4. Please answer the following so I can better understand your current standing and the resources you have. Any specific areas or topics you feel confident about? Any areas or topics where you feel you need more help or are less confident? Any particular resources or study materials you are already using? Once you provide these details, we can tailor your study plan to focus on reinforcing your strengths, addressing your weaknesses, and making the best use of the materials at hand.
Okay, yeah. So that makes a lot of sense, right? And then like, I'm not saying that when it comes to like professional level exams, like the CCNP or like the CCIE, that my goal is to like go and take the CCNP. And sorry, there are some typos, but the context should make it clear what I'm saying. I'm not saying like for a really truly like difficult exam, I should be able to knock that out in like 2 weeks, right? It should take me like at least like 6 months to get my CCIE, right? Maybe even longer than that. But I'm just at a point in my career where like I've failed a lot of certifications, and I feel like I just kind of am letting myself down, and I'm not behaving in a way that is professional enough to put me where I want to go in my career. And then, at the same time, it's like people who pass certifications consistently probably are, dumping. So like, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm like failing to do what I want to do if I'm like legitimately learning and becoming a better professional for my failures. But yeah, let's focus on question one, time allocation. I could typically do like an hour per day, and then like extra time on the weekends. I do this YouTube channel, so I actually legitimately enjoy making videos, just talking to the camera. It's therapeutic for me. So yeah, 11 hours per week. That makes sense. I like to do other things, so it's sometimes be less, sometimes it'd be more, but yeah, 11 hours per week probably works. So yeah, the next question, and we'll take it one at a time. Any specific areas or topics you feel confident about? And this is what's eating me alive, right? Because I'm moving on from going for the CCNP. And because, I feel confident about a lot of the stuff that's on there, probably like half the material. So it's like, oh, I should probably be going for that. But I'm just not sure it has the same kind of relevance as like an Nvidia certification. So yeah, and on the Nvidia certification, yeah, there's a lot less that I feel confident about. So even though it's an easier exam, it's just hard to balance, what to do. Like, I think this is one of the hardest problems I've ever had to address in my career is like, where do you steer the ship, and like, what do you do when the ship becomes like really far off course, to the point where like you're having trouble steering it back, like you're not able to pass other kinds of certifications because and you can't even pass certifications you've passed before, because like everything's so different now, like the technology has changed so much. So yeah, that's my answer for number two. Next, let's move on to question three.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts and experiences. It's clear that you're deeply committed to your professional growth and that finding the right path forward is a significant concern for you. Let's address each point systematically to create a concrete plan. Question 2. Areas of confidence. Any specific areas or topics you feel confident about? General networking knowledge. Given your background, you likely have a strong understanding of fundamental networking concepts, protocols, and infrastructure. DevOps practices. Experience with DevOps principles, tools, and practices can be beneficial. Basic cloud concepts. If you've had exposure to cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud, some concepts might overlap with the Nvidia certification.
Yeah.
Question 3. Areas needing improvement. Any areas or topics where you feel you need more help or are less confident? NVIDIA-specific technologies. Understanding the specific technologies and solutions NVIDIA provides for data centers.
And cloud. I should get
AI
my
and data center
AWS
integration.
cert.
Ways in which AI solutions are implemented and managed within data centers. NVIDIA certification topics. Detailed knowledge of the exam-specific topics, including any new or unfamiliar areas. Question 4. Resources and study materials. Any particular resources or study materials you are already using? Before diving into a plan, knowing your current resources will help. However, here are some recommended steps and resources for your preparation. Official NVIDIA certification guides. These should be your primary resource.
Yeah.
They are tailored to cover all the topics you'll encounter on the exam.
The Coursera class.
Online courses and tutorials. Platforms like Coursera, Udemy, and LinkedIn Learning might have specific courses on NVIDIA technologies and data center AI integration.
Yeah.
Study groups and forums. Engaging with a community of learners can provide support, insights, and additional resources. Websites like Reddit or dedicated certification forums can be very helpful. Practice exams. These are crucial for familiarizing yourself with the exam format and identifying areas where you need more practice. Creating a study plan. Week 1. Foundation and familiarization. Day 1 to 2. Read through the official certification guide to get an overview. Day 3 to 5. Focus on NVIDIA-specific technologies and solutions. Use official documentation and tutorials. Day 6 to 7. Weekend. Deep dive into AI and data center integration. Watch relevant online courses or webinars. Week 2. Deepen knowledge and practice. Day 8 to 10. Study specific topics you're less confident about, based on your initial overview and practice tests. Day 11 to 13. Review all materials and take detailed notes. Start doing practice exams. Day 14. Weekend. Spend a longer session reviewing practice exam results, focusing on weak areas and doing a final comprehensive review. Adjusting the plan given your fluctuating availability, it's crucial to stay flexible. If you find a particular topic more challenging, allocate more time there and adjust your study schedule accordingly. Also, if creating YouTube content helps solidify your understanding, consider making explanatory videos about the topics you're studying. Final thoughts. Your commitment to learning and improving your professional skills is commendable. While balancing different certification paths can be challenging, focusing on one achievable goal like the NVIDIA certification can give you a sense of accomplishment and boost your confidence for future endeavors.
Especially if I can do it in
Remember,
like 2
the key
weeks.
is consistent, focused study and leveraging the right resources.
Yeah.
Please feel free to provide any specific resources you're using or any other details, and I can further tailor this plan to suit your needs.
Right, good point. I haven't pasted in all the resources I've used yet. Well, you asked me 4 questions, right? So I'm going to take each question one at a time. So yeah, we went through question 4. Oh yeah, you know what? We're at question 4 now. So yeah, I think I'll dump in the it's going to be a long prompt. But I'll dump in everything, my plan to study. It's just from the official NVIDIA site. So let me know when you're ready for me to paste that in, and I'll paste it in.
I'm ready for you to paste in the study plan and resources from the official Nvidia site. This will help me understand. Thank you for providing the detailed information from the official Nvidia site. Based on this, we can structure a focused study plan tailored to your needs and the exam requirements. Here's a suggested plan. Week 1, Foundational Knowledge and Core Concepts, Day 1 to 2, Overview and Initial Course. Tasks. Enroll and start the Introduction to AI in the Data Center, self-paced course. Focus areas. Introduction to AI. GPU computing. Nvidia AI software architecture. Implementing and scaling AI workloads in data centers. Time. 3.5 hours total over 2 days. Day 3 to 5, AI and machine learning basics. Tasks. Review the additional materials provided.
Oh, man.
Focus areas. Difference between AI, machine learning, and deep learning. Difference between deep learning training and inference. AI use cases. Resources. The difference between AI, machine learning, and deep learning, 6 minutes. The difference between deep learning training and inference, 5 minutes. Other articles from the list. Time. 1 hour each day. Day 6 to 7, weekend, deep dive into GPU architecture.
All right, I don't really feel like I need like a study plan. I feel like I honestly I don't know what I need. So can you act as like a expert in this domain of knowledge and use like S tier and A tier strategies to try to like S tier, S-T-I-E-R. Yeah, there you go. So like use like career coaching strategies where like, you know, you can ask me questions to try to determine what I really need. And, you know, besides a study plan, and that you can like use the best known science and evidence-based strategies in like career coaching or whatever relevant domain of expertise to like, you know, get me what I feel like I need. Cause I feel like I need something and I don't know like what it is.
Certainly, it sounds like you're looking for more than just a study plan. You need guidance on how to effectively advance in your career and achieve your goals.
Right.
I'll use a mix of evidence-based career coaching strategies and tailored questions to help you identify what you might need to reach your certification and career objectives. Step 1. Clarifying your goals and motivations. Goal definition. Question. What are your long-term career goals? How do you see this certification fitting into those goals?
Right.
Purpose. Clarifying your ultimate career objectives can help ensure that your immediate actions are aligned with your broader ambitions. Motivation exploration. Question. What drives you to pursue certifications? Is it for career advancement, self-validation, job security, personal satisfaction, or something else? Purpose. Understanding your motivations can help tailor your approach and maintain your focus. Step 2. Self-assessment and reflection. Strengths and weaknesses. Question. What are your core strengths in your current role? What areas do you feel less confident in? Purpose. Identifying strengths can help you leverage them more effectively, while recognizing weaknesses can guide your focus for improvement. Past experiences. Question. Reflect on past certifications or significant projects. What strategies work well for you and what didn't? Purpose. Learning from past experiences can provide insights into effective study and work habits. Step 3. Identifying barriers and resources. Current barriers. Question. What do you think is currently holding you back from achieving your certification or career goals? Purpose. Identifying obstacles is the first step in overcoming them. Available resources. Question. What resources, time, materials, support networks do you currently have access to? How can you better utilize them? Purpose. Efficient use of resources can significantly impact your progress. Step 4. Actionable strategies and support professional development. Question. Besides certifications, what other professional development activities, networking, mentoring, training do you think could benefit you? Purpose. Broadening your approach to professional growth can open up new opportunities. Support systems. Question. Who can support you in your certification journey? Colleagues, mentors, online communities. How can you engage them? Purpose. Building a support network can provide encouragement and practical help. Step 5. Continuous improvement and feedback mechanisms. Question. How do you currently receive and incorporate feedback in your work? How can you improve this process? Purpose. Regular feedback can help you stay on track and make necessary adjustments. Reflective practice. Question. How often do you reflect on your career progress and goals? What have you learned from these reflections? Purpose. Regular reflection can ensure you remain aligned with your goals and adapt to changes. Tailored guidance. Mindset and resilience. Develop a growth mindset. Understand that failures are part of the learning process and an opportunity to improve. Build resilience by setting small, achievable goals and celebrating your successes. Learning techniques. Use active learning techniques such as teaching back material, discussing with peers, or applying concepts in practical scenarios. Incorporate varied study methods like reading, watching videos, and hands-on practice to reinforce learning. By addressing these areas, we can help you clarify your needs, identify the best strategies for your situation, and build a more comprehensive approach to achieving your certification and career goals. Let me know your thoughts on these questions and strategies, and we can refine our approach further.
Yeah, this is exactly what I need. Thank you. This is exactly what I need. So let's go through one by one. Let's start with step 1. Let's start with the question. And what I want you to do is remind me of the question. I want you to accept my answer to the question and very briefly give me your thoughts, but do not go into detail unless I ask for it. And then I want you to remind me of what the next questions are.
Absolutely. Let's start with step 1. Step 1. Clarifying your goals and motivation. Question 1. What are your long-term career goals? How do you see this certification fitting into those goals? Please provide your answer, and I'll briefly share my thoughts before we move on to the next question.
Yeah, so like, you know, I want to be an expert, right? Like I feel like I am an expert. So like that means getting a expert level exam, right? Like, you know, a CCNP, a CCIE, right? Like, or a JNCIE. You know, it's like I want to be an expert. Like honestly, even like going back to school and becoming like at least like, you know, getting a master's degree or like even like a PhD in like machine learning. It's like this is where my mind's at, right? It's like I feel like I have a lot to offer and a lot I can learn and just a lot I can do, and I feel like I'm failing to live up to this kind of image of myself where like I can operate at a higher level than I'm at. And I think this comes from like, you know, having ADHD, right? And like being medicated with Adderall and going from being like a you know, a student that would be lucky to make the honor roll to like, you know, the top quartile of the class consistently, taking, you know, the hardest classes and doing well and like being like obviously college bound to like, you know, a nice college, right? So it's like the difference between being like kind of milquetoast and like, you know, sometimes showing flashes of like a lot of potential between like being like obviously like one of the best. So it's like for me in the past, I've seen that difference because I've been on Adderall, but yeah, I don't want to get into it more deeply. I can't go back on Adderall or like stimulants like that because it's like too risky. I had a bad reaction to Adderall after like, you know, a few years of taking it. So and honestly, it probably wasn't even the Adderall that I had bad. Basically, long story short, I'm really excited to see a new therapist. In about a month from now, and hopefully that can happen there. But that's just where, you know, my mentality's at, right? It's just I feel like I'm letting myself down and failing to live up to my own personal expectations about like who I am and what I identify as. So long term, my career goal is to close that gap, you know, and get like a you know, become like at the very least someone with like an expert level certification, but even like, you know, like a CTO or like someone who goes back to school in adulthood and like starts a company. You know, I really want to do something big and impactful, you know, that matters to me. So like this certification is more to kind of reorient the ship into like a more growing and lucrative space, but the goal is lucrative space. So this certification, sorry, there are some typos, but the context should make things clear. This certification is more to like reorient myself, but you know, this is why I kick myself so hard for no longer taking the CCNP, because, you know, that's a step along the way to the CCIE, which is kind of more aligned to my goals. Like it doesn't matter to me as much like which lateral I'm in. It matters to me more that like I conduct myself as you know, a consummate professional, right? It's like consummate, right? Yeah, right. Consummate professional, right? Like I feel like I'm capable of a lot, and I think that might be kind of something due to my upbringing, and I need to be kind of less hard on myself and more realistic about what I can accomplish. You know, I accomplished a CCNP professional, so like I'm definitely a professional. No one can argue about that, but you know, when it comes to being like a top 1% expert, like, you know, it's just expecting too much, right? It's like being a top 1% expert is like not achievable for 99% of people, right? So like, how conceited and do I have to be to like think that I don't fall into that 99%? Like, it's just not mentally healthy, right? I need to have more realistic goals and like not be so hard on myself for doing something that's like basically unachievable, for failing to do things that are just like not a good thing to like strive for. So yeah, that's my answer to that. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, so briefly share your thoughts, and then we'll move on to the next question.
Thank you for sharing your detailed and thoughtful response. Here's a brief reflection on your answer. Thoughts: you have a clear vision of your long-term goals, which include becoming an expert in your field, obtaining advanced certifications like CCIE or JNCIE, and possibly pursuing higher education such as a master's or PhD.
Or even just a bachelor's.
Your desire to live up to your potential and achieve significant impact is commendable. It's important to balance ambition with realistic, achievable steps to avoid burnout and maintain mental health. It's also great that you're seeking support from a therapist to help manage your expectations and mental well-being.
Yeah.
Next question. Question 2. What drives you to pursue certifications? Is it for career advancement, skill validation, job security, personal satisfaction, or something else? Please provide your answer, and I'll briefly share my thoughts before we move on to the next question.
Yeah, so it's definitely for career advancement. It's definitely for personal satisfaction, job security, skill validation. Those are the obvious answers. The something else, there's answer to that as well. I just like the backing up, right? It's like having something to show for myself. It's like, here's this certification I obtained. It proves something. Maybe it doesn't prove that I'm better than somebody without it, but it's at least it's there, right? At least I did something commendable. So like, I want this history of success. I think that's really important to me. So that's what drives me to this. But I feel like that kind of led me astray because, I was going for an expert level exam kind of before I was even able to, because this is what I mean is like one of the things I think I lack is the ability to like in 2 weeks go and pick up like the AWS cloud practitioner, like basic entry level cert. Like I should have that certification. I should have that skill to like go and get a entry level certification in like 2 weeks, at most a month. And I feel like I really lack that skill to be like really flexible and lateral and to be able to pivot. And instead I'm just locked into like going for the hardest things, even if like whether or not I actually pass them won't make the kind of difference that I'm looking to get. So it's yeah, so that's what drives me is this like validation. So it's kind of driving me in the wrong direction, just towards going for the hardest ones at the top, regardless of like how the ship is oriented. And I'm trying to like fix that, and I want the ship to be oriented more towards the future, like what really is going to matter in the future. And then I also want me to be able to be able to get the easy wins. I feel like I'm not able to get easy wins, and that's a huge problem in my career.
Thank you for your response. Here's a brief reflection on your answer. Thoughts. Your motivation for pursuing certification span multiple aspects: career advancement, personal satisfaction, job security, and skill validation. The desire for a tangible proof of your capabilities is strong, and having a history of success is important to you. However, focusing exclusively on the most challenging certifications can sometimes be counterproductive.
Exactly.
Developing the ability to achieve entry-level certifications quickly and efficiently is a valuable skill that can provide immediate wins and build momentum.
Exactly.
Next questions. Question 3. What are your core strengths in your current role? What areas do you feel less confident in? Please provide your answer, and I'll briefly share my thoughts before we move on to the next question.
Yeah, so that's a good question, right? It's like I've carved out a niche for myself where, I'm strong in Python, right? I'm strong in like reading the docs and learning new things and integrating like, software frameworks with network engineering. Like I'm in a rare mix of people that are good on the network engineering side as well as good on the software engineering side. So like, that's a good niche, right? Like I can do, like I should pick up a Cisco DevNet cert, right? It's like certification, Cisco DevNet certification, right? It's like I feel like I fall more solidly into that niche, and that's my strength. So this is what makes it even harder, right? It's because now I feel I should pivot to even another one, and I feel like there's just so many certifications, and I feel like it's a problem because if you pick a AWS cloud practitioner versus a cloud whatever else, it's like you could lose out. It feels more like it's gambling, if you know what I mean. It's like there's no longer any good bets because, oh, you got your AWS cert, well, too bad you didn't get your Azure cert. Oh, you got your Azure cert, oh, well, too bad you didn't get your Google Cloud practitioner certification, right? It's like you can't win. Like no matter what you do, you didn't do the right thing. And then not only that, the whole system crashes, and like no matter how much of an expert you are, like if there's just no companies out there hiring because they're just going through a lot of layoffs this year for whatever reason, or they're like doing a different strategy where they're trying to just integrate AI and cut down on their workforce or whatever. It's like no matter what you do is not going to be effective. So I feel like it's become a lot more of like a gamble than it used to be. I think my core strengths are pretty valuable, like, you know, integrating that software development with the network engineering. I think that's obviously like ultra valuable for a lot of different spaces. But you know, I should have like a firewall cert by now. I should have my basic cloud certification. Like there's just I'm less confident in my kind of breadth of knowledge and my ability to be flexible and operate in a lot of different spaces, which is kind of a strength and a weakness, right? It's like I'm really valuable to this one niche, but you know, I depend so much on this niche having opportunities in it.
Thank you for your detailed response. Here are my brief thoughts. You have significant strengths in Python, software integration with network engineering, and a unique niche that combines both software and network skills. These are valuable and marketable skills. However, the breadth of knowledge and the ability to pivot quickly to different areas, like cloud certifications, are areas where you feel less confident.
Yeah, and I
The
should be
challenge
able
in
to do
navigating
that
a broad
in
and sometimes
weeks.
volatile job market adds to the complexity. Next questions. Question 4. What resources, time, materials, support networks do you currently have access to? How can you better utilize them? Please provide your answer, and I'll briefly share my thoughts before we move on to the next step.
Yeah, exactly. Those are great thoughts. Like I should be able to pivot to getting like a basic cloud certification in like 2 weeks, like at most like a month, right? And I feel like I can't do that. I tried to do that with the LPIC-1, and like maybe it was just too hard of an exam or whatever, but like I feel like that is my attempt to like really get that confidence that like, oh, I can be, you know, I can kind of pivot and I can take some easy wins. And the fact that I failed that was like really damaging to my confidence in that regard. So yeah, the next question, you know, I have access to a lot of resources, right? Like I can buy books on Amazon. I can check them out for free from the library. I can go on like Coursera. I can watch YouTube stuff. So I can better utilize them. I think the library I can do a better job of utilizing. I think you know, checking out a data science book, doing a data science project. I think I should be better at that. You know, I should basically check out a bunch of books from the library and focus more on them, right? Like they have the entire For Dummies series, right? So like I should read books on like, you know, how to succeed in business and stuff like that. I think I would be much better off. I spend way too much time on the internet consuming, you know, mis and disinformation, or just consuming, you know, mis and disinformation. And I hope that is clear what I'm saying. If it's not, then I apologize for that. There are typos here, but hopefully the context makes it clear, is that I feel like the information on the internet is pretty low quality, and I could better utilize my resources by reading more. I think reading is like really valuable. Like just consuming videos and stuff, it's like, especially where you like don't know much about who's producing the content, or where like the person producing the content maybe used to be good, but now, you know, they're just like a video producer. Like I think you got to realize sometimes it's like when you're learning from an author even, or like a video producer, like you're not learning from someone who's all in on the subject you're learning on someone split between the subject and the act of like writing a book or producing a book or producing a video. So like, you know, I can better utilize my time, materials, and support networks by kind of like honing in on higher quality materials.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Here's a brief reflection and a response. Thoughts. You have access to a wide range of resources, including books, online courses, and YouTube content. You recognize the value of higher quality materials, such as books from reputable sources, and acknowledge that spending more time reading and engaging with well-regarded content could significantly enhance your knowledge and confidence. Utilizing your local library and focusing on well-curated books, such as the For Dummies series or specific data science projects, could be a great way to better utilize your resources. Next step, we have gone through the questions to clarify your goals, motivations, strengths, weaknesses, and resources. Now, let's integrate these insights into actionable strategies. Actionable strategies set clear, achievable goals. Short-term goal, achieve a basic cloud certification, e.g., AWS Cloud Practitioner, within the next month. Long-term goal, work towards advanced certifications or further education, e.g., CCIE, master's degree, aligned with your career vision. Develop a flexible study plan, daily routine, dedicate a specific time each day for focused study using high-quality materials. Resource utilization, use library books for structured learning and supplement with reliable online courses. Leverage support networks. Mentors and peers. Connect with colleagues or online communities who can provide guidance and support. Therapist. Utilize therapy sessions to address any mental blocks or anxiety related to your professional goals. Reflect and adjust. Regular reflection. Set aside time weekly to reflect on your progress and adjust your strategies as needed. Feedback loop. Seek feedback from peers, mentors, and through practice exams to continually improve. Build confidence through small wins, achievable targets. Start with certifications or projects that are within reach to build momentum. Celebrate successes. Acknowledge and celebrate each milestone to reinforce positive progress. Limit distractions. Quality over quantity. Focus on consuming high-quality content and limit time spent on less productive internet activities. Structured learning. Prioritize structured learning methods such as reading books and engaging in hands-on projects. Final thoughts. By focusing on these strategies, you can build confidence, improve flexibility, and make steady progress toward your career goals. It's important to balance ambition with realistic steps and to utilize your resources effectively. Let me know if you need further details or if there's a specific area you'd like to explore more deeply.
All right, thank you. I was pretty happy about this. Yeah, I feel like this kind of did satisfy my need, right? It's like I could have used this time, and how much time did I burn? I basically burned 45 minutes, right? So I could have spent that really diving in and studying, and I'd be further ahead, and I'd probably be taking this problem head on, where like I feel like I should be getting easy wins like in a really timely way. Like I should be skilled enough to be able to do that. Like, you know, if I had spent the 45 minutes in like directly focused on the Nvidia certification, I think honestly that might have been time better spent. But, you know, I feel like I had an unmet need where like this is part of why I'm failing, right? And I'm failing, right? Failing. Like this is part of why that's happening, right? It's because I feel like I have this unmet need psychologically, and like we had to go through this whole process. So I'm hoping this process, you know, kind of makes it so I can stop doing it and really can just dive in and try to get like this Nvidia certification in at most a month, but more ideally like 2 weeks.
I'm glad to hear that this process has helped clarify some of your thoughts and provide you with a sense of direction. It's important to address underlying psychological needs to remove barriers to effective studying and progress. Here are some final steps to ensure you can move forward productively. Final steps to move forward: immediate action plan. Day 1 to 2. Set up a detailed study schedule for the Nvidia certification. Daily focus. Dedicate at least 45 minutes each day specifically for studying the certification materials. Set short-term milestones. First week, complete the self-paced course and initial reading materials.
All right, so based on everything we've discussed so far and the curriculum I've pasted in that I'm going to study, create for me ICS calendar files that I can upload to my Google Calendar that outline, you know, a schedule for getting this certification done.
Sure, I can help you create an ICS calendar file outlining your study schedule for the Nvidia certification. Based on our previous discussions, we'll aim for a 2-week schedule with daily study sessions and more intensive study periods on weekends. Here's the proposed schedule. Week 1, day 1 to 2, overview and initial course. Day 1, enroll and start the Introduction to AI in the Data Center, self-paced course. 1 hour. Day 2, continue the self-paced course. 1.5 hours. Day 3 to 5, AI and machine learning basics. Day 3, review the difference between AI, machine learning, and deep learning, and the difference between deep learning training and inference. 1 hour. Day 4, study AI use cases and...
All right, whatever. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay. So, yeah, let's dive in now. I wasted nearly a full hour, so I better not keep wasting time. It's just, you know, my unmet need is, like, I don't know if this is right or not. I'm just so scared that I'm sinking a lot of time into nothing, right? All right, but anyways, this is one thing that might help is let's do a stopwatch, and then let's legitimately try to spend, you know, no more than double the time that's listed on here. So let's start the stopwatch, and let's spend a minute reading this. So this is the CUDA zone. CUDA is a parallel computing platform and programming model developed by Nvidia for general computing on graphical processing units, GPUs. With CUDA, developers are able to dramatically speed up computing applications by harnessing the power of GPUs. In NVIDIA accelerated applications, the sequential part of the workload runs on the CPU, which is optimized for single-threaded performance, while the compute-intensive portion of the application runs on thousands of GPU cores in parallel. When using CUDA, developers program in popular languages such as C, C++, Fortran, Python, and MATLAB, and express parallelism through extensions in the form of a few basic keywords. The CUDA toolkit from Nvidia provides everything you need to develop GPU accelerated applications. The CUDA toolkit includes GPU accelerated libraries, a compiler, development tools, and CUDA runtime. So there we go. That's a minute. These are applications developed with CUDA. Thousands of applications developed with CUDA have been deployed to GPUs in embedded systems, workstations, data centers, and in the cloud. So, yep, we can see some of them there. We could see more. We can download the toolkit, but you know we're at a minute 30, so that's going to be it. All right, so now let's spend 5 minutes on this next one. All right, so the next topic is the Nvidia Titron Inference Server. Nvidia Titron Inference Server, part of the Nvidia AI platform and available with Nvidia AI Enterprise, is open source software that standardizes AI model deployment and execution across every workload. So we can download it, get the documentation, or go to a community forum. So the next section is ways to get started with Nvidia Titron Inference Server. Find the right license to deploy, run, and scale AI inference for any application on any platform. So you purchase NVIDIA AI Enterprise, which includes Triton Inference Server for production day interference. The next step would be to apply now for a 90-day NVIDIA AI Enterprise evaluation license. So I could do that like before I'm ready to take the exam. I mean, it's 90 days, so the goal is to get the exam within that time period. And then you can apply to try Triton Inference Server on NVIDIA Launchpad. And then you can contact us to learn more about purchasing Triton. We're at a minute mark here, minute 30. So the other way you can get started is to access code for development. Triton Inference Server is available as open source software on GitHub with end-to-end examples. So access, we can look at the repository. Let's skim it through a little bit. So yeah, we've got Docker containers. Those are big now. We've got the code itself is probably in SRC. Yeah, so we've got some H, I believe is C, which is kind of funny. Yeah. And then the final way to get started is to download containers and releases. Linux-based Triton Inference Server containers for x86 and ARM are available on NVIDIA NGC. Client libraries as well as binary releases of Triton Inference Server for Windows and NVIDIA Jetson Jetpack are available on GitHub. So we can pull the Triton Inference Server from NGC, and we can download for Windows or Jetson. But let's move on from that. The next section is introductory resources. So we're about halfway through here. So we got a quick start guide. We can learn the basics for getting started with Triton Inference Server, including how to create a model repository, launch Triton, and send an inference request. We could get started with that, but let's move on. Next introductory resource is the introductory blog. We can read about how Triton Inference Server helps simplify AI inference in production, the tools that can help with Triton deployments, and ecosystem integrations. We could read the blog. The last one is the tutorials. Take a deeper dive into some of the concepts in Triton Inference Server, along with examples of deploying a variety of common models. Next section is content kits. Access technical content on inference topics such as large language models, cloud deployments, and model ensembles. Large language models. Large language models, LLMs, are an increasingly important class of deep learning models, and they require unique features to maximize their acceleration. This kit will take you through features of Triton Inference Server built around LLMs and how to utilize them. So you can deploy a 1.3 B. I don't know what that means. 1.3 billion GPT-3 model with Nvidia Nemo framework. That'd be cool. I kind of want to do that. Then you've got accelerated inference for large transformer models using Nvidia Triton Inference Server. How to deploy an AI model in Python with PyTriton. Deploying, optimizing, and benchmarking large benchmark models get started. So that's an exciting one for personal experimentation. Then we've got cloud deployments. Triton Inference Server includes many features and tools to help deploy deep learning at scale and in the cloud. With this kit, you can explore how to deploy Triton Inference Server in different cloud and orchestration environments. So you can run multiple AI models with Amazon SageMaker. You can boost AI model inference performance on Azure Machine Learning. You can deploy Nvidia Triton at scale with MIG and Kubernetes. One-click deployment of Nvidia Triton Inference Server, GKE. Harness the power of cloud-ready AI inference solutions. Generate stunning images with stable diffusion XL. And then the last part of this, or one of the last parts of this, is ensemble models, which is great because we're past time. Modern deep learning systems often require use of multiple models in a pipeline and the use of accelerated pre and post processing steps. Learn how to implement these effectively in Triton Inference Server with model ensembles and basic logic scripting. Serving machine learning model pipelines on Nvidia Triton Inference Server with ensemble models, accelerating inference with Nvidia Triton Inference Server and Nvidia DALI. How to deploy Hugging Face's stable diffusion pipeline with Triton Inference Server. So Hugging Face, I really am a fan of. It's a community for AI, those interested in AI. It's basically the open source AI community, like a one-stop shop for that. All right, well over time here, so let's just finish things up. Self-paced trading. Don't need to. So learn anytime, anywhere with just a computer and an internet connection through our deploying a model for inference at production scale self-paced course. We can stay up to date. Let's read the ethical AI and then move on. So NVIDIA's platforms and application frameworks enables developers to build a wide array of AI applications. Consider potential algorithmic bias when choosing or creating the models being deployed. Work with the model's developer to ensure that it meets the requirements for the relevant industry and use case, that the necessary instruction and documentation are provided to understand error rates, confidence intervals, and results, and that the model is being used under the conditions and in the manner intended. All right, so went 2.5 minutes over. The next one is this one here. So yeah, so this has a video. The video is probably a few minutes. The video is 2 minutes. So I think to get through this next one, you have to watch the video and then read the rest of the site. At the very least, I need a break. If not to stop the video here. It's been about an hour, so I'll take a break. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, and I hate to do it, but I think I'm gonna have to save this for the next video. I just had a lot of like unmet need in going through this and really locking into this, so that's what I spent this video on. I think that was probably not the worst investment in time ever. So next video, we're gonna do the same strategy. We're going to put a stopwatch on, and we're gonna make sure we're not spending much more than the estimated time to completion, definitely not more than twice that time, and then just try to get through all of this as soon as possible. Build some flashcards using Anki. Review them for a while, a few days, maybe a week, and then go and pay the $135. Sit and take the test for an hour. 50 questions and see if I can get the certification. So yeah, it should take me at most a month, but hopefully in about 2 weeks. So stay with me on the journey, and stay tuned for the next video.